5 goals, no answer, and one man who just made himself immortal in the annals of this sport. Portugal against Uzbekistan. And trust me, the scoreline alone doesn't begin to tell the story. Picture this: Houston, Texas, searing summer heat bearing down on the stadium, 68,000 souls filling every seat. And Portugal, one of the tournament favorites, walking out of the tunnel carrying the weight of a result that had rattled the football world. Their opening game, a 1-1 stalemate with DR Congo, had raised serious questions. Cristiano Ronaldo had gone over 10 consecutive major tournament matches without putting the ball in the net. The noise around him had become deafening. Should Martinez drop him? Is CR7 done at this level? At 41 years of age, was this the World Cup where the curtain finally came down? Then the referee blew the whistle against Uzbekistan, and every single one of those questions got buried. Before we get to the goals, let's sit with one number, because it is genuinely staggering. The youngest player starting this match was Uzbekistan's Bekruz Karimov, 18 years and 320 days old. The oldest, Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years and 138 days. That gap, 22 years and 183 days between two players sharing a World Cup pitch, is the largest such age difference in World Cup history between starting players in any single game ever recorded. Karimov was barely walking when Ronaldo was lifting club trophies across Europe. That context matters, because what was about to unfold was not just a football match. It was a statement across generations. 6 minutes in, Pedro Neto gets the ball wide on the right, drives across into the penalty area, and Ronaldo, reading the flight of the ball before anyone else in the stadium, pivots on the 6-yard line and connects. The ball rockets past goalkeeper Nematov and into the net, and in that split second, Cristiano Ronaldo became the first human being in the history of football to score at 6 separate FIFA World Cups: 2006, 2010, 14, 18, 22, and now 26. No Pelé, no Maradona, no Messi, nobody, just Ronaldo. The SIU celebration erupted from his chest, the crowd detonated, and somewhere in the record books, a new line got written that may never be erased. Portugal had their tail up. The crowd was electric. And Uzbekistan had no answers. 17 minutes. Portugal earn a set piece to the left of the Uzbekistan box. Ronaldo steps up to the spot. The wall assembles, the keeper settles. And then, Ronaldo, in a moment of complete selflessness, waves Nuno Mendes over and steps aside. Mendes takes the run-up, whips the ball with his left foot, and it bends around the right side of the wall and nestles into the bottom corner before Nematov can react. 2-0. What makes that moment remarkable is the footnote it created. Mendes became only the second Portuguese player to score a direct free kick at a World Cup. The first was Ronaldo himself against Spain in 2018. Portugal produce history even when they're being generous with it. Uzbekistan tried. They really did. Aziz Ghaniev worked some space outside the box and unleashed a strike that flew into the net. For a moment, the Uzbek fans in the stadium dared to dream. But VAR stepped in, a foul on Cancelo in the build-up. The goal was taken away, and with it, whatever momentum Uzbekistan had been building evaporated completely. 39 minutes. Bruno Fernandes receives the ball, looks up, and threads an inch-perfect through ball straight into the channel between the Uzbek center-backs. Ronaldo hits the accelerator, collects it in his stride, opens his body, and slots it calmly into the far corner. 3-0, and that goal, his 10th at FIFA World Cups, officially made him Portugal's greatest ever World Cup scorer, surpassing the legendary Eusébio, who held that record since 1966. 58 years that record stood, gone now. Those two goals also moved Ronaldo to 145 international goals in total, a margin of 23 ahead of Messi in the all-time standings. That is not a competition anymore. That is a separate category. Portugal went into halftime with a 3-goal lead that could have been higher. Ronaldo had gone close to a hat-trick before the break and had generously handed a free kick to a teammate. The second half was always going to be about managing the result, but Portugal had other ideas. The hour mark arrived and Portugal won a corner. The ball came in, ricocheted off Abdulkadir Husanov and then goalkeeper Nematov, and rolled into the net. An own goal, 4-0. Nematov's name on the wrong score sheet twice in the same evening. Cruel fortune for a keeper who had actually made a handful of decent stops to prevent an even heavier defeat. Ronaldo kept pushing for his hat-trick. Nematov denied him with a strong save when it seemed certain to go in, but the third goal wouldn't arrive for CR7 on this particular night. The finishing touch came in the 87th minute. Nelson Semedo drove down the right, played a low ball into the 6-yard area. A half clearance fell directly to substitute Rafael Leão, and he hammered it into the top left corner. Unstoppable. 5-0, full time. The final numbers told the full story of the gap between these two sides. Portugal fired 17 shots and generated 2.43 expected goals. Uzbekistan managed 7 attempts for just 0.25 expected goals. This was not a game, it was a masterclass. And historically speaking, this was Portugal's third World Cup victory by 5 goals or more, joining the 7-0 rout of North Korea in 2010 and the 6-1 demolition of Switzerland in 2022. Now, here is the bigger picture that makes this result land even harder. The previous evening, Lionel Messi had broken the World Cup's all-time scoring record. Mbappe already had 3 goals in the tournament. Haaland had 4. Every major name was already performing at an elite level, and Ronaldo, supposedly past it, supposedly a liability, had been watching from the outside of that conversation. Until Houston, because in 45 first-half minutes, he didn't just join the conversation, he hijacked it completely. At 41 years and 138 days old, he is now the second oldest scorer in World Cup history, sitting behind only Cameroon's Roger Milla, who netted at 42 in 1994. And he also broke the record for the oldest player to score twice in a single World Cup game, a record that Messi himself had set just days earlier in this very tournament. Let that sink in. A 41-year-old breaking a record set by a 37-year-old in the same World Cup. For Uzbekistan, some fairness is owed here. This is a nation playing only their second ever World Cup match in their entire history, coached by Fabio Cannavaro, the Italian legend who won the World Cup as a player in 2006. They showed spirit, they showed ambition, but they were simply outclassed by a Portuguese side operating at a completely different level. This result does not define Uzbekistan. Central Asian football has made enormous strides in recent years, and this tournament is part of a much longer journey for them. For Portugal, the path forward is clear. 4 points from 2 matches, sitting at the top of Group K. One more game against Colombia on Saturday, and the knockout stages await. The squad that Roberto Martinez has assembled is genuinely frightening in depth. Fernandes controlling the tempo, Felix linking play in tight spaces, Vitinha covering every blade of grass, Mendes threatening down the left like a winger in a fullback's shirt, and leading the line, a 41-year-old who just proved, for the 647th time in his career, that you write him off at your absolute peril. After the match, Ronaldo said, "Records are always nice, but my goal is always to help the national team achieve its objectives. 6 World Cups, 20 years, one objective that has eluded him his entire career, and he is still running towards it like he scored his very first goal yesterday." Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0. History written in Houston, and the World Cup is just getting started.